Hey, what's up, everyone? And welcome you to the Gen Z Growth Lab podcast. And this is where we talk with the serious entrepreneurs who has used their proven tactics and strategies to take their Gen Z to the next level. And today we have Mark Preston with us, who has started his career in 2001. I guess that's when the Google was very raw. The things were very new in the SEO community, and there were not too many people, I guess, at that time who actually know about the SEO. In fact, not me. I was doing my degree at that time. But as I understand from your bio page, Mark, I mean, like you built out a dozens of lead generation sites and generated the quality leads around the United States, and that was all from via SEO. And just fast forward to today, Mark, he is a well-known author. He's a speaker. He speaks at a different conferences as well, and just help local businesses and SEO agencies in their overall business growth. At the same time, he has written like a couple of SEO books as well, and I guess they are available on Amazon, so which is really good. And one of the common factor we have got with our today's guest is the Mark has got a SEO podcast as well, in which he like to share a lot of valuable wisdom with his audience. So yes, I'm super excited about it. Welcome you on this podcast, Mark. How are you?
Very well, thanks, and thank you for inviting me.
No, thanks. I know you got a great wealth of knowledge to share with the audience. So yeah, it's really gonna be very exciting next half an hour. So yeah, Mark, I was actually reading your bio page, and that was quite interesting to know, like about your background. That you started off as a with a mechanical background, and then how you made a kind of a shift from all the way from a mechanical background to an SEO. It's completely different things, from the weapons to the SEO and a computer. I can't complain because I'm a mechanical engineer myself as well. But yeah, all for you. How did the whole journey went along?
Yes, well, it was a case of my background historically is mechanical engineering, mechanic, agricultural engineering, went to agricultural college, and I was in that space. But then, because of family health issues, to think about changing career where I could do something myself, that I was available as and when I need to be for family. And so it was a funny situation because I was speaking to my brother-in-law, who just happened to work for a very big web hosting company. And he said, well, I can give you some hosting. Do yourself a website. And I'm like, what? And it just that's how it transpired. I built a website, and then suddenly it was a case of, well, no one's looking at this. What do you do? And back then there were not the blogs, and there were not everything available now where you could go and do things. You had to work it out yourself. Yeah. And back then, and I started setting up site after site. And a trigger came because somebody contacted me saying, I've just bought a wardrobe from IKEA. Can you come and build it? Because I had one of the websites was a flat pack builders. And I'm thinking, I don't do that. So it was a case of, well, there's plenty of businesses that do that. And suddenly that turned into a whole lead generation business, just out of, it wasn't planned. It just happened. And that's how I got into the industry.
Yep. And was it just in United Kingdom that time, or you were doing the same in United States too?
Yeah, in United States and UK.
All right. That's great. The first part of your story actually was very familiar. It sounds like my story, because I started off, I guess every SEO, they started in the same way. I started off a site, and I was just doing a publish and pray approach, was thinking like, hey, why the traffic is not coming to my site? Now, all of a sudden, after struggles, I came to know, hey, there is something like search engine optimization, which is really required to bring in the people, because just preparing site not really going to help. So yeah, I can relate. I can relate the conversation, like you said. No, great. And so yeah, as I can really understand, is most of your career is actually around agencies, local SEOs, and training the SEOs as well. And that's what most of your books actually talk about too. So what are the most effective strategies you feel like the SEOs should actually adopt to bring in new business on board? Because lead generation, what I've seen, is one of the biggest pain point these SEO agencies they have got at the moment. They just built out a site, purchase the tools, but they do not know how to attract more clients to their agency. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yes, like I say, I do, I have a strong background building my own agencies. I built a big franchise network myself in the industry. So I understand that part of it. The problem is when people set up agencies,
Yep.
they've hopefully very good at doing what they're doing, but they've not much business knowledge. There's not much lead generation, sales knowledge. And what I try to do is help people through that. And the biggest thing about the generating quality leads and doing the sales is the fact that they're thinking too much like an SEO.
Yes.
It's when you are going into businesses, they don't care about 301s or 404s or redirects or whatever. They've asked you to help them because their business needs to get from where it is now to where it needs to be. And SEO is just the thing. They're not bothered about SEO. So the problem is going in talking about SEO is the wrong thing. Going in talking about how they can help them to move the needle forward in a positive way for that business, understanding that business is the thing. Because a lot of people I talk to, freelancers, agency owners, that get a new lead in, okay, run it through the favorite tool, out pops a report, sends a report off saying you've got all these errors. Well, that's not the way to sell. You need to understand why that business is coming to you. Asking them, well, what do we need to do in order for this to be a positive campaign for you?
And I guess that's one of a thing which separates us from the crowd, from the other SEO agencies, like a competitors, especially in this competitive market. Like we always need to be open to listen the ideas or what kind of thoughts they have got, what kind of pain points they have got. Because some agencies, they might have a pain point related to their lead generation, or maybe they have a pain point that, hey, they're getting leads, but those are not the qualified leads, or not a quality lead. So yeah, that's something is really important. But as you work with a lot of SEO agency owners as well, so what do you think are some of the proven strategies which are working for you, or even with some of the other agencies at the moment, at this time? Do you still feel like they need to jump into the paid wagon or paid media, or they might have to go with the GB base maybe these days, because the people, they are getting too much attracted with the ranking in the GB base?
Yeah, well, it's strange to think about, but SEO agencies and digital marketing agencies get very few highly quality leads from doing SEO themselves as an agency.
That's true.
The fact is, you have to, as an agency, the way to generate quality leads is not using SEO themselves as a primary solution. Because, a lot of agencies I found spend far too much time filtering out all the low quality leads and people that just want free advice and everything. I mean, the best form I found over the years, and I've generated like over 8 figures in income from LinkedIn.
Oh yeah.
But it's just be yourself. And don't try and offer something you cannot deliver. Because all you're doing is making a promise, right? And the problem is, if agency owners make a promise they cannot at least deliver on, that's when the issues come. And
Exactly.
if you deliver what you say you can deliver, then your clients will be your unpaid sales force moving forward.
Yeah, a lot of referral business someone can get by having a good client retention, and that's something I really want to touch based on this as well. But you said LinkedIn. So when you say the LinkedIn, are you talking about the organic LinkedIn? I mean, like putting in the quality posts and then giving a kind of advice or something? Or are you talking about the paid ads on LinkedIn? Can you actually elaborate a little more on that, please?
No, it's the organic LinkedIn. I mean,
Okay.
I don't pay for LinkedIn. I've tried it, but you
Yep.
know, it's not for me. You know, it's all about building up relationships.
Yes.
It's all about solving something. It's
Yep.
all about making people think
Yep.
and snapping that light bulb moment of something they hadn't thought about before. If all
Yep.
you're doing is posting what everyone else is posting, then you're not really going to get much attention. You're not going to get seen. So it's about coming up with that thing. I mean,
Yep.
it's not about making yourself unique. It's about making other people think and stopping
Yes.
and think, yes, I didn't realize that before, or saying the same thing in a totally different way. And
Yes.
that's, for me, that's what it's has made a real positive impact. Because I'm seeing lots of agencies, they're going on LinkedIn, they say, yeah, me, but no one actually cares about you. They care about what you can deliver.
Yes.
You see,
What
and
they
that's
can
the
actually
problem.
do. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Rather than just getting into the position like, hey, hire me, I can do something for you. Now we just need to add the quality and what we can offer to them. And then based on those offerings, and we need to stand with them as well. Because if we can't guarantee our work, then it is really very hard to for them to take a guarantee is that really these guys going to perform or not. That's very true, actually.
Yeah, you need to sell the impact instead of the product,
Yep, true.
right?
And
Sell the impact and provide some evidence that you've done this before, you know, and the sort of why this will work for that business, you know, that approach. But when you concentrate on the impact rather than the product,
yep,
and as an agency themselves, I mean, I don't go out saying, oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. That's not what it's about. It's about showing your true personality, showing you, because these business owners connect with people, not
yep,
agencies.
exactly right. Exactly right. And that's where I guess the networking, the local networking events, they come into play as well. Because I know like you go a lot, you are a speaker on different conferences as well. So, and especially going to the local networking, that really helps to actually build a strong relationship with these agency owners or maybe the local businesses as well. It just makes a high impact onto them because, like you said, they prefer to talk to a person, not to a company all the time.
Yes, I mean, you have to be careful when you go into networking. You know, some networking groups, all you're doing is going and talking to the same people week after week about the same things.
Yep.
Now, for me, networking is about talking to people you haven't spoken to before,
Yep. True.
building new relationships up, nurturing them. It's not about, oh, well, who can you refer me to this week? Who can you refer me to this week? And I think if you get out of that mindset of going to these groups and focus on going to places where your potential ideal customers are.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's no good going to a networking group
Mm-hmm.
that's full of other agency owners
Yes.
unless your objective is to help each other.
Yeah. True. True. That's a clear understanding is really important, I guess. Yes. So the next question would be like, when you sign up any new client on board, how do you approach structuring client growth plans to produce the sustainable results to them? And when I say sustainable, it's just not sustainable. It could be the scalable results as well. Is this some kind of like a key elements you always take in consideration, which you pass on to your teams as a common KPIs they have to track to make sure that the client can get or you guys can actually beat their expectations as well?
Well, first of all, you have to understand what the scalability of that business is. You
Mhm.
know, is if you, what point can you grow that business before internal things have to change?
Yes.
So, do they need to employ somebody if you get over? So a lot of the agency approach it saying, well, we can grow you this, but it creates more problems for the business
Mhm.
than solutions. So first of all, you need to understand that. So it's about for me, it's about taking it in steps. Let's
Yep.
grow you to the next level.
Yep.
Okay, well, what do you need? What does that next level look like?
Yep.
It's not about focusing on keywords. That's old. With focus on driving quality people to the website who has the potential to turn into new business.
Yep.
And if you start thinking like that, less quality is more rather than doing more things.
Yes. True. Because I guess that's the main mistake what the people actually do is they try to promise too much. And that takes me back to the same point which you raised before. They promise so much and then they can't really deliver. And then because at the moment they're saying, hey, we're going to do a lot of things for you. We're going to look after your paid media. We're going to look after your this, which going to help you to scale your overall thing. But in reality, they just fail to do the basic stuff as well. So yeah, it's very common things. And then most of the agencies, they come and say, hey, these SEO agencies, they ditch me. They burned me out. It's a very common thing, isn't it? In the SEO industries. When we try to touch base with anyone, I'm sure you had a same kind of an experience too. They say like, hey, we have worked with some of the agency in the past and that didn't work. So SEO doesn't work at all.
Yes, I mean, it's a fact that, these are businesses that don't really know you. Why should they trust you? You
Yes,
know, is what confidence can you give for them to trust you?
true.
And it's unfortunate there's some agencies, I'm not saying all because there's fantastic agencies out there,
Mhm.
but some agencies
Mhm.
are caught in three parts. So some of them don't really care. They just all about sell, 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 get money, whatever happens, will churn and burn agencies.
Mhm.
There's the middle bit where most agencies sit
Yep.
that basically they want to do a really good job. They
Yeah.
don't want, they really want to, but because of other factors, things have gone wrong.
Yep.
Maybe the agency isn't in the right setup or mindset or whatever to cope with those factors. Say, helpful content update.
Yes.
Suddenly, the site tanks. Well, a lot of agencies say, well, it's Google's fault. It's not Google's fault.
It's our fault.
It's something that's happened probably because of maybe historical things that's happened, not your agency. So a lot of it's down to communication,
Yep.
how to communicate things with your clients. And being totally honest and not trying to fluff around the edges. And I think once you build that honest relationship, then clients are more inclined to stay with you longer.
Yes. And what kind of, I mean, like in your agencies, what kind of like stuff you guys do it for, or the best practices, I would say, for a client retention? Let's say there is a client coming on board. How do you guys actually make sure that you're keeping the client for a long time on board for all the rebuilds?
One, deliver, because if you don't deliver, they'll leave.
Yeah.
Two, make sure that they're busy.
Yeah.
Basically, the phone's ringing. You
Yeah.
know, they're getting quality leads in. And three, communication.
Yep.
You know, I love jumping on, online or going to see them if they're local at
Yes.
least once a month,
Exactly right.
right?
Exactly right.
Talk to them about, understand, okay, we've generated all these extra leads. Talk to me. How has it been? What type of leads? Are they good customers? Are they great customers? So understanding that and nurturing the process to make that better.
Yep.
It all comes down to communication, because without that, you can't tweak your strategy. Just saying, we will write 5 blogs a month, we will generate so many links. That's not a strategy. That's just an agency that's productized, but it's not a strategy.
Yes, true. True, very true. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people do it these days. They start off with a good communication. I mean, like at the very start when they have got a handful of clients, and what I've seen, and I've personally made this mistake in the past as well, they just lose it. And they feel it like the client is just keep on sending the messages, someone cares, someone don't really care. And so it is very important to have a constant touch with the client. So I completely agree with you on this. So people do understand if there is any kind of like Google update, or if there is a little fluctuation in the rankings, the people they do understand. They know the things are happening. As far as we are telling them that it has happened because we made this change, or maybe there is some Google algorithm, so there's a shuffle in the rankings going on right now, but it probably gonna settle down because we have used some of the best strategies to get the things done for your website. You know what I mean? So you're completely right about that. Okay, one of hot topic I always really like these days is AI. And now it's another Google hammer which has come through, which is the overview AI. And a lot of people, they've been screaming around. I can see in the Facebook groups, they're saying like, hey, the SEO agency is going to wipe out soon. There is no career for SEO. It's time to get into the paid media or something. What do you think about it? Do you really think it's true? Something going to happen? Or it might going to increase the demand in overall, because the most of people are going to go away and the quality SEO is going to leave looking after stuff.
Right. I personally, there's always opportunities, right? As an SEO agency, you have to be adaptable to change, right?
Yes.
That is one of the key things. You have to be at the forefront of these things, but not to change anything based on what somebody thinks, right? Because yes, in the States, AI overviews has launched, but for me, it was a case of, okay, well, I advise businesses in the US. Yes, I am not going to tell them to radically change everything,
Yes.
because we first need to monitor the impact.
Yes.
Right? The problem is everyone's saying, oh, well, Google's answering the questions for us. Google's giving us it. There'd be no reason to click through to the website and all that and that. The fact is, AI overviews isn't for every search. It's only showing if they feel as though you can add value. Right.
Yes.
Now, as an SEO agency or as a digital marketing agency, well, your job is to add value to what's already out there, not to rewrite what's out there.
Yeah.
If all you are doing is basically rewriting what's out there and you're not adding any value to it,
Yes.
then that's the problem. You
Yeah.
are the problem as an agency, just regurgitating what's out there. And
Yes.
it doesn't matter if you use GPT to write it, AI to write it, or a human to write it, or whatever. You have to put your own thoughts into the piece. You
Yes.
have to work with your clients to say, okay, this is out there. Now,
Yep.
what can we work on to add more value to that? Now, the agencies that think in that mindset with the clients are the ones that's going to win. You
And
see,
that's
all these agencies that just regurgitating everything that's already out there are
oh
the
yeah.
ones that's going to find it a bit tricky moving forward.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. Most of the tools, I mean, like they just put in like 1,000 words and then they click the button and overnight just goes and create 1,000 articles on the website and do the auto posting and that kind of things as well. It's scalable? Yes, it is scalable. It is a quality content? No, it is not a quality content. And that's what Google is smart enough to pick it out such kind of things. And that's what the helpful content update actually talks about. If your content is a low quality, it does not deserve to be on the web. So a lot of time when I get interact in the groups and the people they sometimes raise a questions like, hey, my website is not ranking and the page is not ranking for this keyword, then the first thing I'll is, do you really deserve it to be ranked on the page one? I mean, like, have you really put it in that extra bit of paces and the X factor into it, which deserves to be this page that Google gives a kind of a love to it? And
Yeah.
so yeah, they're relying on the buttons, they're relying on the machines to find it out and all that. Yes, no doubt that AI has got a big corpus of data putting in, but at the same time, we need to use that one for our ease to do a kind of research. But if you're thinking like, hey, let them do everything and let I should go and do it, and maybe the Google gonna pick me and put it on the top position, that no, I don't think so. It's really going to happen.
I mean,
Never
there's
happened in the past.
different examples of that I can give. Now, the problem with a lot of agencies, they're approaching it from an SEO angle. They
Hmm.
shouldn't. They
Yes.
should approach it from a business angle, from a lead generation angle, from a conversion angle.
Yes.
So what content do you need on this page to get that person, not a
Mhm.
user, it's a person, to actually do what you want them to do,
Yep.
right? Well, what do you need to add on that page to
Yep.
get them from where they are now to filling in this contact form?
Yes.
So that's the key missing answer. When I go into agencies and companies and, looking at things, that's the key missing part.
Yeah.
And focusing too much on search volume. I
Yes.
mean, I generated a piece of content for a company, helped them generate it. It was only around 500 words.
Yep.
It had everything that's needed on there to
Oh yeah.
generate leads.
Yep.
Now, if you put the keyword into Ahrefs or SEMrush, it said, around 200 people a month search it. Now, we went live, and a month later, it was generating 3,500 visitors a month just to that one article.
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah.
that turned into a 5-figure a month revenue
Ooh.
increase,
Really?
right?
Crazy,
Because
yeah.
it's thinking about, I mean, your clients as an agency are a gold mine.
Yes.
Just asking them, just sitting down with them, like in this environment, record it and chatting to them about the business. You know, what are the common things that you usually get asked as a
Yes.
business owner? What are, you know, and just talking to them about their business and just saying, right, talk to me about your business as though I don't know anything at all. And
Yep.
there will be golden nuggets coming out. And if you focus on them golden nuggets and basically focus on the things that they're repeating over and over again in the conversations,
Yep.
then that is the connection to get them.
I get
And
it.
the beauty about it, if you make that connection, Google will understand that the audience loves this. This is different. You've got a unique perspective. Then
Yes.
naturally they'll rank it. But the objective isn't to rank it first. The
Yes.
objective is to convert people. It just so Google loves it as well.
Yep. No, very true, man. That's very valuable advice, I can say. Just a very final question, Mark, that what piece of advice do you really want to give it to the people who are just starting out, want to open up their agency, and on a very, how could I call it, at a bootstrap budget? Let's say they've got a $5,000 sitting in their pocket, that's all, and they want to get started. So do you think like they should actually invest that money on some tools? They should invest that money on maybe on the ads or team building? What your best advice would be for these kind of people just starting out only on a low budget?
Right. I do advise a lot of people in that area who's just starting out. First of all, I'd say write down your unique skill set, right? Write down the things you know you can deliver, right? And the problem is a lot of people try and do things they can't really deliver. So focus on what you can deliver and focus on the people and the clients that you can solve that for.
Yes.
You know, it might be you in the first instance, you have to provide a white labeled service to other agencies to get yourself started from a
Yes.
revenue, because there is lots of expenditure that they won't be aware of. So
Yes.
they need to work out what their minimum amount they need every month is.
Yep.
And once they get that together and not trying to be everything to anyone, focus on what they're really good at, then that's the way forward.
Yep.
And as far as getting the first clients, it's going to be hard. And there's always a case of, well, they're asking for case studies, but I haven't got any clients yet. I mean, I've been in that scenario years ago, and I just created five different websites.
Yeah,
I just
that's true.
created
That
5 businesses and got them ranked and done things.
Yep, that's case study.
And used them as my case studies. Then
Yeah.
when I got clients in and replaced them, those websites are just sold as business opportunities.
Yeah, true. Because a lot of people, they do misconcept this thing between case studies are the actual clients. So I'm gonna pick up the clients on board, then I'm gonna have some case studies, and then I'm gonna work on put them on my website. But yeah, like you said, they can always build out their own sites, they can rank them up, and then they can use those ones as a case study, because it's by the end of the day, it's all the results. So yeah, and when it comes to lead generation, like you said, it could be like they should go with the media buying, or they should go with the organic LinkedIn kind of an approach, or to the local events. So what do you think the best lead generation system would be for these guys who are just starting out only? Just in a quick 2 lines, what do you think?
Again, it depends on if you know what type of budget they have, but LinkedIn organic is what the gold mine of agencies.
Great, that's great. All right, no, that's great, Mark. That was really good. And where can our listeners, they can actually know more about you? I know your website, I'll definitely put it in the video description as well. Is there anywhere else they can reach out to you? Maybe on social media, maybe on LinkedIn? Yes, LinkedIn could be the another one.
Yes, LinkedIn. Just search for Mark A. Preston,
Okay.
and you'll find me on LinkedIn, X now. Them are the main two platforms I usually use, LinkedIn and X.
Okay. And X. Yes. Correct. No, thanks, Mark. Thanks for really dropping all this knowledge bombs. I know they value a lot, especially for the people who are just starting out, because it is really very hard what I've seen in the industry to actually get the first-hand information or the right kind of information. I struggled myself for so many years to actually get that and created the right kind of information, which can really help me to excel well. And maybe these guys who've been listening, they are lucky enough than me that who have got a chance to listen to the people like you. So no, thanks for that, man. I really salute you for that.
Yeah, I just want to finally say,
Yes,
just
please.
because you're not generating loads of clients does not mean you're not a good agency.
Yes.
I mean, I speak to a lot of agency owners, and the fact is, if you are growing by 2 clients a month, you are a good agency.
Yes, true. Especially it's a competitive market. At the same time, they have to keep working on their skill set, on the teams, and on their overall website as well, the website SEO rankings, because a lot of people, they do say, if you can't achieve results for yourself, how are you going to do it for me? No, thanks, Ma. Thanks for all this information which you provided. Really appreciate that. And yeah, I'll definitely touch base with yourself on LinkedIn as well. I'll send you the connect request, and the people who've been listening to me, I'll drop the LinkedIn URL in the video description as well.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been a
Thank you for
pleasure.
that. Thank you. Bye-bye.